Hello guys, welcome to this video. Kenya police in Haiti have become a confused lot. This is following the resignation of the Prime Minister of Haiti. So they remain in a very sad state. So the reality of the matter is that the resignation of the Haiti Prime Minister leaves the country in anarchy, because who is in control of government? No one is in control of government. So this is a failure of Haiti. Maybe we call it the failure of Western civilization in Haiti. So it is very sad, because the people or the Kenyans that went there to serve as policemen are right now totally in confusion, because we are talking about criminal gangs which operate with sophisticated weapons. Most of these weapons are coming from Florida in US and other states in the United States. So you cannot compare the weaponry of United States with the weapons that Kenya has. So it's very obvious that our policemen and policewomen that reported to Haiti are simply signed a death sentence. It is very impossible for them, even if they have the determination, they do not have the training to deal with the mafia leaders of Haiti. This is a country that has been in political turmoil for decades. So going to Haiti or taking our servicemen to Haiti was a very fatal mistake, especially by the government of the day. So I think it's about time that the president, William Ruto, owns up to the fact that it may not be tenable to really send those people in Haiti. I think this is the time to abort the mission, because if you think about it critically, if there is no government in place, then who is the government of Kenya going to interact with in Haiti in a diplomatic manner? That simply means there is no one. It also means that Haiti is somehow a country free for anyone to possess, because right now we do not have a central government. So the people that have the most power right now are the gang leaders who are controlling most of the Haiti. So it will be a very difficult mission, especially for the Kenya police, because there are only about 1,000 policemen. And remember, police do not have a specialized training to be able to deal with this kind of situation. So it will really leave them in a very difficult spot. So members of parliament have really criticized this kind of step. Watch the following clip.
Madam Speaker, what is the definition of a reciprocating country? Before you even go to the definition of a reciprocating country, the country in question must be having a functioning government. My submission is that the Republic of Haiti, as we speak currently, has got no functioning government. And therefore, the question of reciprocating or otherwise can't arise. But even more importantly, this request for the deployment of Kenya Police Service officers to Haiti, who is the originator? Where did it come from? Did it come from Haiti? And if it came from Haiti, from who in Haiti? Which government in Haiti? Which government, as we speak, is in charge of the Republic of Haiti? Because as a country, as a parliament that represents the people of Kenya, we have to ask these questions. We have to ask these questions, because the public will ask us even tougher questions if something goes wrong in Haiti. So we must ask these questions. Which government in Haiti made the requisition for Kenya police officers to go to Haiti? You cannot use our police women and men as guinea pigs at the altar of rent seeking. Because we know for sure that the motivation for this misadventure is money. Is money. People want to use our hapless police officers as guinea pigs in their bid to get cheap money. If you are sure that our Kenyan police officers are going to be safe in Haiti, first of all, start by taking there your child or brother, or go there yourself. Go there yourself. And then they tell us, Madam Speaker, that you see, oh, the reason why Kenyan is leading this mission is because Kenyan people have got the same skin complexion as the Haitians. Are Kenyans the only black people in this part of the world? Are we short of black people in that part of the world? If you go to the Caribbeans, the whole of South America, indeed even some parts of North America, don't we have black people? Are we the only black people in this world, us and Haitians? Yes. What kind of nonsense is this? Very parliamentary. Because you cannot lead us to indulge in an illegality at the altar of rent seeking. And therefore, with those very many remarks, and to allow my colleagues to equally contribute, I reject in toto this ill-advised motion. This very ill-advised motion, I reject it in toto. And I want to appeal to my colleagues from both sides of the political divide to equally reject this motion.
It is obvious that the president of Kenya's step to take Kenya servicemen or Kenyan policemen to Haiti was a totally misinformed decision. So this decision, no one knows, but it is very, very likely that it was taken due to financial considerations, so that it may really result in the maybe reduction of Kenya debt. Because if we face it, it is in interest of the United States that Haiti comes back to law and order. At the same time, the United States does not want to interfere directly in Haiti affairs. So Kenya was picked to do that, the United States bidding. So of course many countries, especially in the civilized world and in the Western world, really want democracy and the mode of operation of democracy to work. But some countries such as Haiti are really bringing a lot of trouble and problems, especially in terms of democracy. We are seeing power being seized from office holders and going to the gangs in the street. So total anarchy exists there. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that a rule by dictatorship only creates other dictatorships. So it's impossible to have a rule by dictatorship run successfully, because there will always be turmoil and counter turmoil and also pressure upon pressure. So the best thing for Haiti, of course, is that the people of Haiti have to recognize and organize themselves to avoid the suffering that they are suffering as a result of wars. War is really a very, very deadly thing. It leads to loss of life, a loss of property. People are waste away because of war. People's education stops because of war. So war is really, really a terrible thing that will really destroy the people of Haiti, unless they are willing to stop it and really have mature conversations, especially in terms of the future of their own country. So the Kenya police in Haiti, I think it's high time that the government of Kenya gets those policemen and policewomen out of that area, because it is a suicide mission. It is really difficult for that mission to succeed, because there is not even a government in place in Haiti. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share.